Hey gang, it's JC and this is the Daily Dose for Monday, June 13th, 2011, a combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Great television archives at the top of the page, the Wayback Machine and the Video Village, and then also we have an eye candy feature along the bottom where we archive all of this stuff. It's sort of a big day today because we're switching shifts on the Big 550. KTRS, Trish Gazelle and I, Trish's trash, going to be on from noon to 3 every day on the Big 550 KTRS. Hopefully, some of you who have not been able to listen will now be able to listen to at least part of the show. Well, we had sort of excitement around here over the weekend. We had a tree come down in the storm on Friday night across the street, and I mean when I say a tree came down, this thing came down and blocked the entire driveway. They're still chopping it up this morning, and that was Friday night. We fried one of our satellite receivers here in the palatial Corcoran household, so we got to get a new one of those, and all in all, it was just a very interesting weekend. I spent a lot of it watching baseball, or some reasonable facsimile, the way the Cardinals played it over the weekend, and watched Colby Rasmus stink the place up again. And this is one of these things where I know there's Colby Rasmus fans out there, but you got to be honest. Even Al Raboski got on him over the weekend. There was a play where John Jay made a diving catch, smashed into the right field wall, and on the replay you see Colby Rasmus standing in center field just watching it like he bought a frickin' ticket. Your job as center fielder is to take charge. You're supposed to be backing up plays, reacting to plays all over the outfield. He's constantly either colliding with or nearly colliding with other outfielders because there's a tentative quality to the way he plays center field. Yeah, he whacks a home run every once in a while, but I mean, if they did like a plus minus like they do in hockey, I'd have to sit there and calculate it, but I'm absolutely certain that it's sort of like one step forward, two steps back when it comes to Colby Rasmus. I don't know what the hell we're going to do. And I got one guy, by the way, who just gets on me all the time, and this is his favorite line. You think you can criticize Colby Rasmus and Cardinal baseball players just because you play weekend ball? Yeah, I play in the Men's Senior Baseball League, pitched a complete game yesterday, as a matter of fact, won 8-6. And all that. So that's your take on things. So you think that it is because I play weekend baseball that I think I know everything. Well, let me just, maybe instead of just a weekend baseball, you should consider the fact that I co-hosted a weekly feature on Fox Sports Midwest for a couple of years. At various times in my career, I covered the Cubs, the Royals, the Baltimore Orioles, the Toronto Blue Jays, Milwaukee Brewers, and for the past 27 years, the St. Louis Cardinals. Maybe you should take into consideration I've hosted the only full radio shows from the lobby of the Cardinals Hotel during their playoff and World Series appearances in Houston and Los Angeles, Phoenix, Kansas City, Minneapolis, San Francisco, New York, and Detroit, was in the locker rooms and participated in all the post-game press conferences. Maybe you should consider the fact that I've conducted, dare I say, memorable interviews one-on-one with Mickey Mantle, Bob Uecker, Lou Brock, Jack Clark, Harry Carey, Tommy Lasorda, Albert Pujols, Stan Musial. I could go on. Maybe you should consider that since 2007 I've been the back page featured columnist for St. Louis Sports Magazine and was voted favorite contributor in 2007. Maybe you should consider that I broadcast from the Cardinal spring training facilities in Florida, but only for 25 of the last 27 years. Maybe you should consider that my 1998 edition of the annual Opening Day Baseball Show was inducted into the archives at the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Maybe you should consider that I've hosted regular weekly segments with Fernando Avina and Tom Bernansky. Maybe it's the covering of the College World Series in Rosenblatt Stadium in Omaha, Nebraska for several years. Maybe the fact that I've been a guest on Sports Plus on Channel 5 with Frank Cusimano on 6 occasions and also have done some sports things on Fox 2. Maybe the fact that we've calculated that I've spent probably just a little over 6 years of my life cumulatively watching baseball. Oh, and by the way, yes, I play weekend ball, you incredible, stupid, moronic dumbass. Speaking of baseball, I was sort of excited about the fact that the Charlie Rose Show, and I don't believe the word excited and the Charlie Rose Show have ever been said in the same sentence. But Charlie Rose comes out at 11:30 at night on Channel 9, and tonight they're going to have Tim McCarver, Bob Costas, George Vesey, the guy who wrote the Stan Musial book, and they're going to dedicate, I guess, the entire show to talking about Stan the Man. Now, normally, as I said, I'd be excited about that, but for some reason, and I'm still trying to figure out why, even though they have this incredible show focused on Stan the Man, this show is being delayed until 1:30 in the morning. So I guess you got to set your DVR and then watch it tomorrow or tomorrow night when you get back from work. But Charlie Rose won't be on at 1:30, but that's going to be on at 1:30 in the morning. I'm still trying to find out from Channel 9 why they're doing this, because it's sort of stupid. All right, rumor has it that Britney Spears is engaged. Sources say her boyfriend proposed in the most romantic style, put the ring at the bottom of a Cheetos bag. And Congressman Gabrielle Giffords has released the first photos of her since she was shot in January. And it's really nice, by the way, pictures being released of someone from Congress without a penis in sight. Russell Crowe, speaking of which, touched off a minor controversy when he tweeted that Jewish people should stop cutting the foreskins off their babies' penises. By Friday morning, Russell had already issued an apology. And Tracy Morgan is in all sorts of trouble. Even people like Tina Fey said, you can't say stuff like that, Tracy. And Chris Rock, who initially stuck up for him, did so without having seen what Tracy said. And then when he saw it, he was like, oh, no, you can't say stuff like that. Oh, man. Clarence Clemens, bad news. Stroke. Yesterday, he is 69 years old. He's been in rotten health. He's living down in Florida. Had spinal fusion surgery, both knees replaced. Clarence at 69 suffering a stroke. That can't be good. This could be the most random hookup ever. Mary-Kate Olsen and Kanye West? Are you kidding me? New England Patriots safety Brett Lockett, who's been claiming that he's been carrying on a 6-month-long relationship with Kim Kardashian, and Kim Kardashian has completely said this guy is lying. Well, now, listen to this story. This guy from the New England Patriots said that he's finally admitted that he's never met her face-to-face, but he maintains that they had a physical relationship because Kim was doing naughty things to herself while talking to him on the phone. Now, he claims that the relationship began when Lauren London, who's a friend of Kim's, asked for his number on Kim's behalf. 10 minutes later, he got a call from Kim. Now, this chick Lauren says that she has an imposter who goes around doing stuff like this. I can't write stuff like this. All right, Super 8, #1 movie in America, but far below what the projections were in terms of how much money. Only $38 million. Sounds like a lot of money, but not for a Steven Spielberg, J.J. Abrams venture. And some people blame it on the fact that they were very tight-lipped about giving any details about the plot line or just stuff about the movie, and they just sort of kept it sort of covert, and they're sort of relying on word of mouth. We'll see whether they're able to pull that off. Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie donated $500,000 to the recovery efforts in Joplin, Missouri. Bill Gates' kids should be furious. According to his latest interview, Bill Gates says that he's leaving his 3 kids an inheritance of $10 million each. That's it. He's worth $56 billion. And he says that it wouldn't be good for them to have all of them, that money. It might screw them up. Hey, I'll take my chances. Give me the loot. All right. In California. All right, let me start off here. On your computer, you have that little tiny camera built in to the top of the thing. I got it on my laptop here. I got it on my desktop. There's that tiny little webcam built in there. And there have been arguments raging about whether or not people can somehow hack into your computer and then sit there and watch you while you're sitting at your computer. This guy is unbelievable. In California, a computer repairman was arrested for installing software on women's computers that let him remotely control their webcams and take nude photos of them. He said he would send him a message saying there's something wrong with the computer and it needs steam. Why would you do that? Because then women take it into the shower with him, and then he gets pictures of them walking around in the shower and in the bathroom. The victim's father noticed something was up and he turned him in. It's just unbelievable, the stuff that people come up with. All right, what do we got here today? The Beatles scored their their final #1 single on this date in 1970, The Long and Winding Road. That was the last #1 song that they had. It was on this date in 1973 that George Carlin's album, Class Clown, that was the one with the 7 words you can never say on television, was certified gold. He performed that routine at Summerfest in Milwaukee and was arrested. And then during the trial, it was absolutely hilarious because the judge said, well, how did the audience react? And George Carlin said, they gave me a standing ovation. And so there you go. All right, what else we got here? I got that. JC's eye candy today. And I'm not going to talk about this Wiener business here today because Congressman Wiener says he's going into rehab now. Okay? He got caught cheating on his wife, and he's going to go into rehab now, thinking that's going to do it. Okay, let's deal with that tomorrow. Okay, because I really want to hit this one out of the park, and I want to spend some time telling you how ridiculous it is, the idea that somebody would go into rehab because they were cheating on their wife. All right, JC's Eye Candy today, an unbelievable shot by UPI's Bill Greenblatt here in St. Louis of the streets of St. Louis during the Komen Race for the Cure on Saturday. Just a massive, massive scene. It's right here. You can look at it on Eye Candy. And then all of those people got stuck in traffic for hours afterwards because some genius at MoDOT decided that closing down Highway 40, when you got 64,000 people downtown for Race for the Cure, somebody at MoDOT thought that would be a good idea. All right, we have an updated Speaking Sexually with Dr. Kathy Naughton right below what you're looking at right now. Then you go below the Eye Candy, and you'll see it there. We have some great stories today, so make sure you check that out. And, of course, we're moving time slots starting today, noon to 3. Trish Gazelle and me on the Big 550 KTRS. That's it. JC's Daily Dose for Monday, June 13th, 2011. A combined venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.